Played in the CFL and NFL with Jacksonville, Winnipeg, Kansas City, Houston, Atlanta, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Edmonton. Spent most of his time with the Houston Texans. And he joins us now, and we'll get to the reason why in a moment. Hey, Garrick, good to see you, Commish.
Likewise,
Man,
my man.
a lot of people love you. A lot of people love you, as you know. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But can you please just give me your take, your quick hot take on the Texans and the turnaround? What's going on down there?
They're playing hard, man. Bringing in D'Amico the way they did was a shot in the arm, and then having a good nucleus of youngsters that aren't backing down, and they're just out there playing for each other, man. So they're rising above what I like to say coaching, because ownership, they're doing their thing, which is really good. But it's good to see them with some success, man. They're having a really good go of it right now.
They needed it. That's the understatement of the century, that the Houston Texans needed something good to happen. But what do you like about C.J. Stroud?
Oh, man, I love that he's cerebral. I love the fact that he's very grounded. He's one of those guys that you can actually get behind, especially being in a quarterback position and me being an old lineman. He would be one of the guys that you love to block for and just protect and keep upright, because he's got a very, very, very big upside, which is really good.
Love it. Well, because of my guy, Danny Barrett, I'm following the Texans closely. Not necessarily cheering for them, but following them closely, obviously, Garrick. Okay, so to the reason you're here. I don't know where to start, so I'll hand it over to you in a second, but I'll just say this. I'm following everything that you're doing. I'm like, here's Garrick making a whole lot of noise about something, because you're a mover and a shaker. Tell us about this latest thing you got going on.
Well, it's called the Ownership Reimagined Movement, and it's been something that I've been working on. When I finally made it to the professional ranks and had the opportunity to see it from the inside, I knew that the end game was going to be ownership. For myself, and I wanted to be a conduit to bring other players along with me, and then at the same time, be able to include the fans a lot more. So where they have a voice as well. So that's where we are today, man. We have a number of verticals within the Ownership Reimagined Movement, but right now, we are, really galvanizing the former players, because we want to have a voice in ownership, especially when it comes down to the CFL. That's where I really got my significant first shot. So we just want to see it go to the next level, and at the same time with other leagues as well, because we're in talks with the WNBA out in Nashville for a potential expansion team. So we've just come up with a blueprint, man, to really make this thing what it needs to be, kind of change the DNA of it, and just give that a shot in the arm, kind of like the Texans, man. So we're excited about where we are. I've had some conversations with the league, the CFL already, and they know I'm here, and they know what we're bringing to the table. I can't disclose everything, but just understand that this movement is needed, and this movement will take us to the next level.
So you talking about a expansion team? I heard you might be kicking tires on Edmonton because they're saying they may go from community ownership to private ownership. What does this look like to you, Garrick, eventually or inevitably?
Yeah. So the actual movement itself and what we're putting together is a rinse and repeat type of scenario. So it could be expansion, which we've already talked about that with them, and how we're looking at, the overall scope of it. But it can go very easily to a more established team like Edmonton or any other team that might be in financial dire straits, right? But the overarching situation with what we're doing is we want to involve, real estate. We want to involve sports and entertainment districts. We want to involve the fan experience. We want to take fan engagement to the next level. And how better do you do that with bringing former players to the table and leveraging that social capital that they have, and then also bringing additional revenue to the table that makes sure that these plans are sustainable. And that's going to be the biggest thing moving forward for the league itself, is being able to put things in play, especially now with the leagues here in the States, the way they're coming about and where they're trying to posture themselves, and everybody's trying to jockey for positions. What we don't want to happen is for the CFL to be a forgotten league, especially from guys coming from the States. So we like to be that bridge and that conduit to be able to funnel those guys up north and be able to hold on to them for as long as possible, and put things in place to bring them into upper management and make sure that their careers are going to be going after they're done playing. So we have it all, man. We check all the boxes, Rob.
Well, yeah, I've looked at your group, but is there guys in that have the resources to do this? Because the owners that I know are very wealthy. I assume you got that box checked somewhere along the line?
Absolutely. It's private equity, man. I'm a GP of 2 different private equity funds, which are private dollars that we would bring to the table. So you got to understand right now, sports is the modern day gold rush. Everybody wants in, right? So, from a private investment side, it's easier to get 200 million than it is to get 200,000. And a lot of people don't understand that, and what we're doing is really bridging that gap between this plan and these platforms that we have and the fans, and also that private equity and private investment arm of the deal. So we're in a really good place when it comes down to being able to tap into the finances and the capital for it. But right now, it's just the opportunity. That's how it is, man. And it's the same way when I came the first time to the CFL. I got the opportunity. I showed up and I made it happen. I was just looking at some old film from back in the day when I first came in. The team itself went from 20 sacks before I got there to 1 sack as soon as I got there. So it's one of those deals, man, where we want to come in, we want to bring that competitive nature to the table, and we want to right the ship, man, because it's time. It's time, and the people are calling for it.
Hey, Commish, when you showed up, I was calling the game. So if you're looking at that film, you saw the stands were full.
Yes,
if
sir.
You're watching the games now. They're not. So that needs to change. I guess that would be my question to you is how is the CFL as a league health-wise? Is that, why is it attractive to you now?
Well, the end game for this entire movement is, of course, NFL, right? And in doing that, we want to come in and we want to be able to bring back the players. We want to bring back that nostalgic feeling. We want to be able to include all these athletes and be able to leverage their social capital, like I said before. But what I want to do with the CFL is make the CFL the trendsetter, right? Because the opportunities are oh man, they're immense. And that's the thing that we want to be able to bring to the CFL and say is, listen, we want to be able to come in. We want to be able to galvanize what's going on here, right this ship. We need to get people back in the stands, but we also need to have ancillary revenue generators going at the same time. So that's metaverse, that's DeFi situations and blockchain, that's the situations with streaming. And we want to be able to now bridge that gap, like I said, from the old guard with the older individuals, the baby boomers that have that mindset of we've always done that, and then toe that line when it comes down to innovation and be able to have enough room in the sandbox for us all to play. I think that's what the league has been lacking when it comes down to it. There's so many people that reach out to me and say, hey, man, we want to be there or we want to be a part of it, but we just don't feel like we're being heard. And you can see that in the stands, and that's the thing, man. Sam Walton said it best. You can hire and fire whoever you want in the building if you take your money elsewhere. And we don't want that to happen. We want this to be a global experience. We want to be able to tap into those resources, relationships that we have, and bring the people to the CFL, bring them to the game, and then turn this into something that everybody else mimics, the NFL included. Because the CFL, for me, with the rich history and the fact that I loved every minute of playing in the league, this was the best time that I ever had. So what we want to do is be able to raise that economic ceiling of the league itself and also be able to include all the people that are involved and make this beneficial across the board.
I love the sound of it. Well, Garrick, you know where to find me if you need anything, my dog. Thank you. It's good to see you again, and keep in touch.
Yes, sir. Will do. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. You guys be safe, and we'll talk soon.
All right, bud. The commish. We're going to have to change his nickname to the owner, Garrick Jones.
How about that?
Look him up on social. Yeah, look him up on social media. I like the sound of it.